The 4.0 preview is out. This is the third game environment. It will be merged to the live once the 4.0 is fully ready. This preview offers limited content of the 4.0. By this I mean the game's missions. We have limited amount of them available for time being. We can explore Pyro, do some basic content and visit places. It is clear this was pushed out for one reason or another. Very likely that the reason is Bir-dy Guardian, which came on sale on the same day. They are trying to make the most of it in 2024, I would guess. Not that this wasn't expected, but rather we were hoping for a full release. Okay, we got what we got, and at least there is something. So how good is this preview of 4.0? Let us start with the overall feel of the game. My own experience was a mixed patch of good and bad things. There were several game-ruining bugs with the hangars, with the missions, with the cargo and so on. There were few stability and framerate issues in rather random locations like the media fields where I was fighting several hostile ships. There was a framerate drop, but for the most part it was smoother than ever before, or at least in most places, and actually quite stable. The content, or at least the missions, seemed to be a bit limited, but I do like few of the changes to these missions. Not to say that all of these changes are final and this is the final product, but the rewards, for example, these have been adjusted to pay out around 25 to 50,000. That is just for the starting missions, and it's already a pretty big amount. The content of these available missions like cargo, salvage, bounty hunting, mercenary has not really changed, but rather the world we are doing this content in is new. The new sounds, aesthetics, visuals, all of these little things that can alter quite a bit of the game itself. Even the simplest of bounty missions are highly rewarding, while they have to be the easiest and fastest to do to make the most amount of money. The rewards of game loops have not really been significant ever since the in-game ship vendors' prices were adjusted. Basically what they did was raising the price of all the in-game vehicles in the in-game shop. Since most players were doing content to earn money and then buy ships at the stores, it could be very tiresome to farm reputation and actually earn the big bucks. Now all of a sudden the ship prices don't seem that high and the new ships themselves don't seem that far away. And I also do believe there were some good adjustments to the missions themselves, for example the mercenary missions. Instead of killing an X amount of NPCs, we now go to a location, take care of some hostiles there, and it's not a 15 out of 15 NPCs. It's a percentage bar, and the hostiles would keep spawning every few minutes. The mission could get bugged, but to make sure a mission could be completed, this percentage bar would deplete over time as well. This is probably one of the better solutions to their bugs I have seen. Not to say it is ideal, but for a player who has completed 90% of the mission, could now wait and take on other hostiles over a couple of minutes as it depletes. Because it always felt very bad when you had to abandon a mission you had almost completed. You have almost done all the work and the mission got bugged. This is one of the feasible workarounds, at least for the time being. While of course there could be other missions which still were bugged out and did not have this kind of an option, like taking down a specific NPC which could not be found at the target location, or taking out power plants which didn't exist. There are still quite a few issues like the quantum travel issue, some loot and cargo problems, and few more additions to missions, but it feels way better than ever before. So for the most part, the stability of the game did improve, but equally, there were areas where it seemed to suffer. I am certain everyone who tried this had their own experience with the 4.0 preview. Not all of us experience the same things, not all of us do the same content, not all of us visit the same areas, locations and other points of interest. But surprisingly, the players were civil enough in this lawless system. In my experience, I did meet a lot of players, but no one really started anything offensive. Because in Pyro there is freedom of no consequences. You can be as hostile as you want. It's a lawless system for lawless players, but players are still civil. I am certain someone has experienced very aggressive players. I would say I have a rather good, rather positive view of this 4.0 preview. I do think they should have probably let this cook a bit more into the next year and then release it into the live instead of this preview option. The activities seem to be limited, but they are intriguing in this new world with its new NPCs, new locations, and it's always fun to explore. I do hope for more improvements, but we are going to have to wait and see how far they are going to push this preview thing. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.